What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be? How you gonna be? Who you gonna be?
There are 13 energy centers in and outside of your body, below your feet and above your head. They're called your chakras. Your chakras govern your reality. They make your life happen. They're fueled by your subconscious thoughts, your life force, your action, sexual energy that exists in all of us, creating from the vibration that flows within us. Constant, consistent creation, directed by the choices that we make. You have the right to be who you're supposed to be, so what's it gonna be? You are the master of your vibration. Feed your mind for elevation. There is no time for contemplation. The time is now. So what's it gonna be? It's gonna be a fantastic day. Well, a fantastic evening.
Speak it into existence.
Mm-hmm. Well, our solution.
Hola, hola.
We had a really, I was thinking about today. Today is April 29th, 2022. And the things that are going on in the mass world is really interesting. We're experiencing the side effects of everything that's been happening since beyond 2020. But, in 2021, that's when the COVID was introduced, or was that in 2020? 2020, okay. And, that's just like a fraction. That's just like a fraction of what it is. There's we have chemtrails, there's, the poisoning in the food, there's the nanotechnology, your devices, the 5G, there's all of these different things that have been introduced into the human body for a long, long time, to the environment.
Yeah.
And so, one of the biggest things that a lot of people are experiencing is mental illness. Mental illness at all levels of what mental illness is. And we're starting to see that so much more because of what they continue to do. I was thinking about all of the things that are happening in the world, and I was like, it's interesting because, they've been doing all of this all along. But now that we see what it is, it's like, oh dang, they pouring it on. But they've been pouring it on. Right. We just didn't see it before.
Right. So you're saying we didn't see it, or are you saying because of the technology that everyone has a camera that we're seeing it, or you're saying that we're seeing it from another point of view?
We're seeing it from another perspective. Mm-hmm. We're seeing it with the veil lifted, from what started happening. It's been happening because all of these things that are happening have been happening. The transformation of the planet and us shifting to a whole new world. This has been happening for a long time,
right.
And so just now we're starting to see, oh, this is what it is.
Right.
This is what's happening. Wow, this is where we are. So, people are now starting to become more aware of what we are and what this whole situation, has been. I can only really speak for America. I mean, I've been to other places, but I can only really speak for America in terms of how it is here. And everybody here has been running a program their whole lifetimes. And I'm saying lifetimes because it's been more than 100 years. It's been a long time. And so today I was inspired to talk about the title of the session today is Follow Yourself. And that's so important because there's so many energies that are out there right now that are speaking, that are, sharing their information, to a world of people that are seeking someone to follow. They waiting for Jesus. Somebody's going to save them. They're looking for help. They're feeling desperate. So they keep going to these outside sources. So what is it, the term that they would say, the picking is good or is ripe, or because there's so many people out there that if you tell them, if you talk to them in the right lingo, you're going to be in their pocket. They're going to give their souls to you if you could save them.
Something is ready for the picking.
Yeah, that thing. Something, y'all know what it is.
Right for the picking.
Yeah. So, and people are desperate to survive. People are feeling deficient. So people are getting into that mode of survival of the fittest, which, again, we've always been in that mode. It's just now in a different form. Now we're starting to see things differently, and now we're seeing what it is. And so now we're responding in a different way. Now, obviously when you have the information now in front of you and you know what it is, now it's your choice to figure out how you're going to play it, what you're going to do, where you're going to go. And you have to be confident in your moves. And how much can you really rely on another person? You have to, in order for you to really truly rely on another person like flawlessly, you have to rely on yourself enough to be able to see that, to be able to, attract that, to be able to say, this is somebody that I trust them like I trust myself because I know myself. So it's like it goes hand in hand. It still goes with you. And this whole talk about self and it being about you, and I say it all the time, we can't misconstrue what that is. It's about mastering self so that you could be of service, so that you can help others, so that you could do the things that you were meant to do. And if you're not self-mastered, and self-mastery is a lifelong process, you know what I'm saying? So this is something that when you start to do it, your life is going to continue to give you the lessons that you need so that you can continue to evolve. So you're going to keep moving according to what your life is calling you to do. And this is very important. This is the important part, because you have to move in the way that you are being called to move. And right now, there's a lot of people that are being moved in the way they are told to move. But we do see a lot of people that are moving out of that too, which is a good thing. I see it. I see a lot of people that are going for self and that they're doing what is right for themselves and their families. So I have to say, thank you, gracias, to the ancestors, to divine guidance. That has been a question that has been coming up a lot too in my realm, is what are the ancestors? What is that? Because some people think that ancestors are this unreachable thing, this wisdom that is just outside of ourselves, but we are our ancestors. And, I'm hoping that becomes a norm too in people talking about that, because as we transform and come back, the truth is being revealed. We've been here many, 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 many times. And this is why it is so easy for us to remember certain things. We are our ancestors. Our ancestors are not something that's outside of us or away from us, but people group energy on specific labels so that people could get a understanding, a comprehension of what it is. Hola, Santina. Welcome. And so things have to have labels so that people could have a better understanding, comprehension of what it is. But we're now in a time where we comprehend and understand by way of the feeling of it, the way that something feels. And so when we're able to connect to what that feeling is and comprehend what that feeling is, we're better able to access it. And so I think that the labels are very personal. You know, it's like what some may call an ancestor, somebody else might call an angel, you know, and, you know, what some people call God, you know, some people, you know, will call that a different thing. So, and it needs to be this way where it's in terms of a feeling, because everything is going back to mathematics. This is what they're letting me know right now. And mathematics is what? It is what it is. It's not, you know, it always equates to what it equates to, right, because that's just like the science of it. And so when the word was introduced and people are speaking, you know, I mean, the perfect example is the Bible, right? Depending on who's preaching the Bible, it's going to have a different meaning. Yeah. You know, the person's experience is going to call onto them a certain part or a certain way to depict that and to share what that is. And now that becomes the understanding, the understanding, the understanding. I think that's the great time to use the word understanding of a whole vibration of this individual that released these words onto these people by his perception of what they mean and what it is. And so because we all have to be responsible for our own souls and our own selves, of course, the universe, most high, the nature that is truly fair, although sometimes we think it's unfair when we see, like, you know, an animal eat another animal or, you know, stuff like that. But when we start to look at things for what they are, we recognize the holiness and the you know, in nature. You know what I'm saying? That it's like everything, it's about balance and everything plays its part. And so now it's about us figuring out what part do we play and how do we play it. And we can't know that if we don't know who we are and how we operate, how this system, this live mechanical energetic system that lives inside of us, we got to know how to operate the system. So I was wanting to say thank you to all of that energy that has been alive in my life and has been an example for me to explore this world of metaphysics and spirituality, because everything happens so divinely and so for a reason, and everything is on purpose. And I trust that and I believe that. And, you know, for the reason of this this inner outer space, this metaphysical space, is why these sessions have been happening how they're happening. And it has been put upon me to really focus on what the chakras are doing in the way that we operate in life so that people could get a better comprehension of what that is and how this system plays to our life and how we play into it. So, and it's very fancy now. You know, everybody's with this, the chakras are something that now is very, you know, is very common, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. But we still we can't get caught up on the theme of things and where that's going. And we got to focus on what it really means. And it was not my personal intention to make the sessions this way. This was something beyond, and I answer to the inspiration, but I got to give credit where credit is due, and so we thank them. And so with that, I also want to thank Rachel Sharman. She is the author of Chakra Reading Cards Guidebooks, Ancient Wisdom to Balance and Heal. And this was gifted to me by my husband for, I can't remember what solar return, what birthday, Earth Day that was. But it was something that when I read it, it felt like me speaking, which you put aside the ego and you realize that the information and the words are always out there in flow for people to get the knowledge and repeat it and say it and spill it out and express it, and then we're able to catch it in the way that we catch it. Oh, but I want to finish the thought that I had started before, which is just when the words came out and people started speaking words and all of the different languages started coming in, the different interpretations of what things are, people started getting confused and manipulated, and all of these things started happening. And it's with the words of people. People speak things, and just like when somebody makes a promise and they're promising things that they know that they're not going to deliver, but the word is so powerful and so strong that they've abused it. People have abused it. And so now it has to be taken away so that we could get to the purity of what things are. And that is the essence of the soul, that spirit. It's like, who are you? I can feel who you are without you saying a word. And things could be communicated when you are in that frequency with another person that's on that same vibe, and you can eye contact and movements and ways that you could communicate that have nothing to do with physical or audible words. So that completed that thought over there. We'll move on to the next. And so the energy center that we are focused on for today's session is the solar plexus. And the solar plexus vibrates the color yellow. The ancient Sanskrit name for the solar plexus chakra is Manipura. It is located around or slightly above the navel. This chakra is our main power center. It represents our free will and is where we draw the energy for our personal power, confidence, courage, and strength. It reflects the emotional body and our desires. Okay. I'm having an emotional moment, and this moment is coming from an energy that I'm feeling in my solar plex to my heart chakra, and it is ancestors, divine guidance, this energy that is thanking me for doing this in this way, and is overwhelming. But it is a good feeling, and it's like, it's an interesting feeling. It's like, I can't really describe it, but okay. All right. Okay, here we go. You're welcome. You're welcome. Ache. Trece. Okay. When our solar where did I'm just going to start over.
Yeah.
Okay. The ancient Sanskrit name for the solar plex chakra is Manipura. It is located around or slightly above the navel. This chakra is our main power center. It represents our free will and is where we draw the energy for our personal power, confidence, courage, and strength. It reflects the emotional body and our desire to attain a healthy self-esteem. When our solar plex chakra is healthy and in balance, we feel inspired to express ourselves freely and shine our light on the world. We feel empowered in all areas of our life and have the strength and determination to support our own goals, dreams, and desires. When we are aligned with our power and are in tune with self-mastery and personal commitments, we are able to attain a deep respect for ourselves and others. We know we are worthy of good and can express joy into our life and out into the world. It relates to personal power, inner strength, self-mastery, determination, empowerment, confidence, self-discipline, free will, self-esteem, courage, confidence, freedom, emotional balance, appropriate self-discipline. That's important. Appropriate self-discipline. We're going to go into that in a bit. Cleansing and balancing the solar plex chakra. You want to lie comfortably and comfortably and place a citrine crystal or an orgone energy battery or orgone device in your hand or on your solar plexus chakra. Allow this energy to support your process. Take a moment to breathe the powerful energy into your chakra. Now imagine the golden yellow energy of the sun beaming through your solar plexus, cleansing and balancing this area. Allow this light to shine into any blockages around your personal power and self-worth, and feel this old energy dissolving. As your chakra comes back into alignment, feel yourself become strong, courageous, and empowered. Solar plexus chakra affirmation. My solar plexus is balanced and I am empowered in all aspects of my life. And you can say that as many times as you want to say that until you feel it. This is a time where we are all being called to really heal this energy center, because so the war, people are talking about the war in Ukraine and this war and that war, and they have to say these things. And I mean, we can't say that there's not a war in Ukraine, because there is a war. There's a war everywhere, but this war is a mental war. It is a spiritual war, and it is something that is relative to where you are on whatever level you are in this experience. So if you are a person that's just entering this world and your whole system is just jacked up, and I'm talking about your chakra system, is jacked up, everything is calcified and nothing is, it's just from a low space, then a person in that energy space, they're going to be experiencing physical harm, physical situations that are really, kind of shaking them up, either to stir up those energy centers and wake them up. It's just where they have to be, or it's a place that they have locked into and they may not be able to get out of that space, and in that way creating the hell that exists here on the planet. And a lot of these energies and entities, they go out and they come back, and they go out and they come back. Okay. And they're showing me the show that we used to watch, Black Lightning. And what was it? Wait, was it Black Lightning? No, it was a show, and Jill Scott was in the show, and the guy would die. He would kill people, and the people would come back in tattoos. Okay. And so these energies, they come back and they'll keep doing the same thing that they were doing if they haven't lifted, if they haven't been able to, come back from that and move away from that. So these energies will come and they continue to kill people, or they'll continue to live in that space until they're able to wake up. When are they going to wake up? I don't know. You don't know. He don't know. Nobody knows. It's up to the individual, because everybody has to choose their experience and their existence. And they do that just on the cellular level of how you vibrate. And this is a vibration that goes beyond the flesh. It is in the soul. So it is something that when we come on to the flesh, we have an opportunity to expand this soul vessel, not the vessel, but this soul being that we are. We have an opportunity to expand that on all of the levels of the chakra system. We're able to, this is the place to do it. And then when you're in other realms, you're in other realms. But here, this is what we do. And people have been programmed to believe that their very existence is sinful, that their very being here is an abomination to life, and that we shouldn't even be here, that we don't deserve to be here. This is the programming of these other beings that exist on this. You know what? Okay. So they exist here through the people that they have possessed. They exist here through the people that they have possessed, but they don't exist in this realm in the way that we do. Okay. And they're showing me there, you got mutants, you have robots, people that are robot beings, and they're not even okay. Terminator, and I didn't even see that movie, but Terminator is not a Terminator. Is it looks like a robot, but it's really like, and I do know that about the movie. It's an alien being, right? The Terminator.
I thought it was created. I thought the whole Terminator thing was kind of like artificial intelligence. It was created by, a black man, but he has human things as well. But his internal he's a skeleton.
Okay.
Of metal. And
okay. So what they're saying is that those already exist, and they've been existed. They're already here. They've been here. And just like the aliens, just like all of these other entities and beings and anything that you can imagine that could be here is here.
Kind of like transhumanism.
Yes, yes. And so all of these things are, just like in the Matrix, how the people, and I'm going to say that, like, if we were to put the Matrix into now, the people that were on the ship were the people that didn't get the shot, right? That didn't take the jab, if we could put it in that way. Right. And so there are people that now, because of the vaccinations, the jabs and all of these things that they're doing, they're changing the DNA structure of human beings to be other forms. And we have seen it in so many movies and so many TV shows, like in so many ways it has been shown to us. We have been seeing what is happening, and now we're just seeing it in the flesh. And it's just something that I always used to say when I was younger. I always said it, that on Halloween everybody came out to be who they are, and they weren't able to, you couldn't tell the difference. Well, it's like a big Halloween right now. Like everything is out. Everybody is out. And the only way that you could determine where you fit in or where you belong is by knowing who you are. Otherwise, you're going to be misled and drug into and manipulated into existing in a reality that wasn't authentically you. It's like, oh my gosh, the number that they have done on us, the number that they have done on us has many people feeling like they want to die. Many people feeling like, I don't want to be here, and what the fuck, because it's that heavy. It is that heavy where being, and this is important because it's like, okay, when you are, I think about this all the time, and I think that I may have thought about this for as long as I could remember, is being the hated, being the people that are being attacked constantly, consistently, and always being that. And it's like, and how do you survive that? And how do you, well, we did and we do, and we have to, because we have to undo it. It has to be undone. And so when we talk about, I talked about the ancestors and how we are the ancestors. This is why we're able to come back and then do it right and then do it differently, and now it's starting to catch up where we're able, and I know a lot of people are not experiencing this, but we're able to see more good than bad. We're able to see more of a balanced space than we have ever been able to see and perceive ever in life. And so now to be able to do that, it's, the labor pains are part of it. It's like the not wanting to be here is part of it. But it's like, when you get that feeling of, I don't want to be here and I don't want to exist anymore, are you going to sit in that feeling and stay there, or are you going to move away from it? And that's where that will comes in. That's where your solar plex starts to really get to work in. Is it healed? If you don't have a good solar plex system, if your solar plex chakra is not where it's supposed to be, then that's when you check out. That's when you commit suicide. That's when you leave. That's when you do something crazy. And so this is something that every person on this planet is is affected, is suffering in these energy centers in one way or another. We have, and we're seeing this now, and we're going to see more of it, where you have all of the people that were in the community of yoga and meditation and do this all the time. Now all the truth is being revealed. It's like, is this a practice that you're really practicing, or was this just something for show? Because if it's something that you really practicing, then you have evolved into the next thing and the next layer and the next layer. But when you have people that are still trying to fake it, you see that they cannot move from the one thing that bought them that space. They got to stay there. They're afraid to move. That's what got them the money. That's what made them popular. That got them the followers, got them this, and they cannot move. And that in itself is what's going to be separating the people that are truly about what they say they are about, and the people that are just selling wolf tickets to get that broken ass fiat note that they're getting, for their energy. So this is where we are in the world right now. Like, you have to have that discernment and know who you're able to share with, who you're able to talk to, who you're able to connect with, because your life is in jeopardy. Like, you're, and I'm not going to say your life is in jeopardy because I don't want to put that out there, but I'm saying that you can't just let anybody in. You got to know who you letting in, because you're letting them into your space, into your being, into your body, and that can have ill effects on you. Like, people were so afraid of the time that when AIDS was a big issue, right? And people were all super scared and freaked out about it. And the thing about it is, just in case you didn't know, they're bringing that back, right? So there's been word that the COVID and the shot or whatever it is bringing elements of what the immune, what is it? AIDS, autoimmune immune deficiency.
Acquired immune deficiency.
Okay. Acquired or autoimmune. What, somebody could correct me if you guys are in the chat and you want to give me the correct definition for what that acronym actually is. But okay, so they're bringing that back, right? And so this sickness and disease and all of that is real. Like, it's all as real as it needs to be for you to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? And an example of that, there were many people that were just like, oh, so with it. They were just like, no, I've been getting vaccinated since 1960, and I'm going to continue to do that because I needed it, and I'm still alive today, and my children are going to do it, and they're all going to do it. Now, none of these people have questioned not one single bit. Did they read any changes and all of the different things that are put into, the science that they're doing with the practice that they have? Because remember, medical practice, right? So nobody has checked that, but they have been stern on that belief that this is what they did, this is how we do it, this is, how it's been done, and that's what we'll continue to do. And so with that solution, you found it?
Oh, yeah. Acquired immune
deficiency syndrome. So that's coming back. That's going to be
I was just seeing
back in the picture.
Hepatitis. Like, it's a hepatitis spreading amongst juveniles now. So I guess that's on the rise again.
Yeah. They said there's another thing that's on the rise that's from the people that got the jab. Okay. And it is transmissible through saliva, through bodily fluids, it sounds like AIDS, right?
It sounds like AIDS.
Yeah.
That's what, but they were saying that, but it took quite a bit of saliva for you to gain AIDS, get AIDS.
Right.
It was like you gotta drink like 2 gallons of AIDS.
Right. Now it's seeming like you could just breathe on people and you're gonna get whatever it is that's going on.
Yeah, people still wearing their masks.
Yeah.
You still seeing it. So
and I heard that Fauci said that the pandemic is over. Somebody said the pandemic was over. Oh. He did? He said that?
No, I was saying,
look, when I go online, I see things and I go for what I'm looking for.
Right.
And then the other things is just kind of like, and so I saw something that said that pandemic is over. I don't read into those things because there's not a pandemic in my life and I'm not having that experience. I'm not on that ship, that bubble, or that boat. So,
that's good, because I was gonna say tomorrow they could be like, you know what? Oh,
it's back.
Yeah.
That's what they're setting it up for.
Yeah.
Because they're wanting to fuck with people's minds.
Yeah.
That's what they're wanting to do.
Yeah.
This mental, the things that are going on, it's like they're using everything that they can. And look what they're doing with group thinking. And this is why it's so important to follow yourself, to be independent, to have your own mind and your own thoughts. It's good to have other people around you that have different systems of belief, and all of that is fine, because if you're grounded on where you are, and you're comfortable where you are, you're either going to learn something from somebody else, but it's not going to cause you any damage. It's not going to harm you for them to be who they are and believe what they believe. So, it changes, it just completely changes the game when you do it that way. I totally forgot where I was going with that whole situation.
Well, we was talking about, you said it just started with Fauci saying that, but you said you don't really, look at that on the internet, you going and that passes by, and that's when you said that having other people of different, mentalities or perspectives, if you're grounded, can be to your...
Give me a kiss. He's so good at that. He always can give me back what I say. I appreciate that very much. What I wanted to share was about how they work in groups. And so they take one person and just like with the religion, they take the preacher, the person that has that outstanding personality. And it's so funny because they really made that very loud and clear with the black churches. When they got the preacher and he's talking like this and he's so loud, it's like that. And I've seen even little children practicing to be preachers and do that thing. And it's like whoever has the most, that vibe, that whoever connects to that person's, solar plex and that energy and that, that's that then they gain that person's attention and become that people that feel good about that person start lifting that person up. And this is why I know it says it somewhere in the Bible, false idols, and you're not supposed to be doing that stuff. No way. False prophets.
False prophets in end times. And like it's everybody has a stage now.
Yes.
In time.
And everybody got a Cash App too.
Yeah.
Cash App, PayPal, whatever it is. Ooh. And it's so interesting too, because I will say to those of you, I just gotta put this in there because it just makes sense. There's a lot of people that they're really excited about this Cash App and this PayPal and this Zelly and whatever else is out there. But trust and believe that all of those are systems that are bought by the government. And then that's just another way to track you. So if you really want to kind of protect yourself from being stopped by an internet kind of system, by a banking kind of system, then y'all already know what we say in this study group. It's gold, silver, physical, tangible assets, things that you're able to exchange so that you're not tied into, these systems that were created to, make us fall. So, I had to say that.
In anonymity.
Existing in anonymity, and that's very important. Let me go to my notes really quick to make sure that I'm covering. All right. There are beings all over the world existing on higher frequency. That is the heaven we seek. People in America are confined by the images and programming that they have watched, listened to, eaten, all of that. Like, that's all, when people talk about unlearn, that has been a little theme, and that's a good one too. Unlearn and relearn, deprogram, reprogram. We have to go past the themes of it We get excited. Yeah, I'm deprogramming and reprogramming. And I said it, but it's like you got to really actually do the work. And it's in all aspects of your life. We're talking about lifetime of programming and traditions and styles and ways of being that have never really matched to who you are. So this is a lifetime process. And this is not something that people just listening to a podcast are going to be like, I'll listen to this every day or every week and I'm just going to get it right at this lifetime. It may be this is the beginning of your process, and I don't know, you might get out of here tomorrow and you might have to come back and pick up where you left off. You know what I'm saying? So this is something that, the important aspect of all of this, is to really enjoy your experience for everything that it is. Everything that it is, and put the emotions where they have to be, be able to connect things where they go, because that brings the sanity back. That brings it for me to be able to say, okay, this is coming from my solar plex chakra. I'm starting to feel this way. I'm starting to feel, unhealthy or unwell about myself and my esteem. I know that this is that energy. Let me look at some yellow. Let me hold some pyrite. Let me, think of other things that are going to help transform that energy. That's very powerful to have the equipment that I need. I know it's that area, so I know what I need so that I can work on that area. And me working on that area, in that moment, you get relief. In that moment, with that intention and with knowing that you want to work on that is immediately automatic relief, abracadabra, and so it's done. And so when the situation happens again, it's not for me to say, oh, but I cleared that yesterday and I did that. And so why am I even having any issues when I already did that yesterday? Well, that means I got to do it again today. So it's not about, you take yourself back down when you start to question what it is. You recognize it. You appreciate the fact that you know what it is and that you know how to heal it or transform it. And you keep moving because there's going to be another challenge. It's like at this age, I'm telling you, I definitely believed in the program that, all right, so once I get to like 60 years old, I'll be happy. Everything's going to be all done. And my life, I would have, checked all the boxes, and that's that. And at 51 years old, I'm realizing that it's like, no, there is no waiting till you get over there to that time and that, and the what if and wonderment, all that. It's like, it is always now. It is always now. It is always now. And when you know that now creates the future, then you make your nows better, which makes for a better future. So it's like if you could remember to enjoy now. I'm going to give you an example of what happened to me today. So I have been getting messages upon messages of the bee. And I've been getting messages about the bee for a long time. I've been working with bee symbolism for the longest time. But just recently, and this is what they've told me this as well, when they're done giving you a message in one way and they want to exaggerate or they want to lift you up to that message, they're going to give it to you in a different way. So this was in 2022, the information of the bee, the symbolism of the bee is very pertinent to what is happening in my existence. And I know this. And so I confirmed it when I found the carcass of a carpenter bee. And then it was like, okay, and then I'm seeing more bees around it. So it's like, yeah, you get it. And so today, the way that it worked beyond just, I saw the symbolism. I know that it's a message. The way that it worked to my energy and lifting me and getting me back, on target or back on path to where I want to be is that we go to the park solution and he doesn't know that I know this, but it's like he feels my energy and it's almost like he knows what I need subconsciously and he just does it. So today we worked out outside, and so it was great because I was able to this was a day that it was like a heavy day, and heavy for so many reasons, the reasons don't even matter. It's a matter of the energy being heavy and me feeling it and feeling tired and feeling, yeah, like energy, not like the energy is low. And so of course going outside is always a great remedy. It's cloudy out here, or it was cloudy earlier today, so it was like the sun would, it would come and it would go, but it was there, always present behind the clouds. So we finished our workout. I did what I was able to give for today, and then on our way back to the car, we passed this lavender bush, and on the lavender bush, there's not one carpenter bee, there's two. There's some straight black ones, and there's some with the yellow on it, then there's three, then there's four, then there's five. There was like a gazillion of them. And it was just really interesting, because so me and Solution are talking about it, and I'm saying, I wonder if the honeybee mates with the carpenter bee, and Solution is saying no, because it's a bee. It's a carpenter bee. You look at the size of the bee, and it's why would it be a honeybee and mate with the and so as he's given me this lesson, as he's sharing with me his knowledge, he is confirmed by nature, where then I turn my attention to another bush, and I see not just one carpenter bee mating with another, but there was a third trying to join and a fourth trying to join. And it was like, and I recorded some of it. And so to the eye, it would be like, oh, okay, you got that confirmation, but it's not just that confirmation. It's the how it's happening along, how quickly the confirmation came. Because you asked the question, and we both said like, well, I had a question, and Solution's always super polite, and he's always honors my opinion and my thought of what I think it is, before he shares what he feels that it is. And then just the way that got confirmed, it was just dynamic, and it going into the symbolism of it, it's amplifying. You're seeing hundreds of carpenter bees over there doing their thing, bringing life, like being bees. Like, and I've learned so much about the bees too. It's amazing. But it was such a powerful visual that it just really lifted me from where I was, and it just kind of brought me back to the space that I need to be in. It kind of brought me back to balance. And when those things happen, I used to feel bad about myself. I used to be like, oh, I know better. Like, I should know what to do. Why am I even feeling like this? This is all this organ I got around me all the time. Oh my goodness. So I had these expectations of myself, and, and then I realized that it was kind of like disconnecting. I was expecting to disconnect with emotion, and this emotional guidance system is what has helped me get through life. And I'm able to use it and feel it and detach from it and keep on moving in my life, and not miss out on things. So I think that that's very important too. We don't want to miss out on this experience. Hola, Tahir. Peace. Good to see you. But I sit a lot and think about yesterday I had an experience, and it was about just my value and what I offer and what I share, and I got a lot of confirmation from someone. And it's just so interesting how people will come into your life, and it's just like one thing that they'll say, and they don't know, they're just like saying something, and then for you in your mind it's like ding, and there it goes, and then it changes the whole perception of another being. And this is the testament to the power of each individual. Like, we don't need to be quote unquote well, we are superstars, but we don't need to be what the powers that were deemed superstars. You know what I'm saying? It's like a person in their own being, in their own existence, could offer so much value to another person just by their very presence. We know that. We know that because we idolize that all the time. And we take this idolatry to a place of straight up mental sickness. Like, I'm talking about mental sickness. When you got people, fighting and crying over a Michael Jackson glove, you know what I'm saying? It's like, you're not right in the mind. That energy could really work in another space. That's a powerful energy to get to a being. Like, have you ever looked at the performances of really popular artists and seen the amount of people, the energy of the people that is going to that one individual? It is something that when you really look at it, you realize that, yeah, that's way too much power. How can you give of yourself, give everything of yourself to someone? I've heard people in cults, talk about, I'll give my left arm, I'll give my life for you, my chief, my this, my that. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's crazy talk. That's mental instability. That's mental retardation. That's like on some sick stuff. And what has created those kind of beings has been the old world that existed. It created a lot of narcissistic people. Notice that the word narcissism has been also a theme word. You've been seeing that word a lot lately, haven't you? People accusing other people of being narcissists and narcissism. Narcissism is a effect of what the world created. The programming created narcissism. They created people to believe that they are, that I'm the king and the queen and the this and the that. I am the one above. I am the one closest to God. I am the, they have taken the power of the I am and misconstrued it to a point of, once again, mental retardation, mental illness. It's just, the world is what it was created to be. That's what it has become. And now it's time for us to create a new one. And we do it by the work that we do on ourselves. That is everything. That is everything. That is everything. That is where you find this God that we seek, this thing that we call God, Allah, Dios, this energy, this force of nature. We find it in us. That's already like, what is it when you say the words a lot, and people are tired of hearing it? Finding God within. There's a word for it, for when you say phrases that are like, well, I don't mean to be repetitive in that way and say that phrase, but it's just the truth, and that's why it had to be that way anyway. You must follow yourself, your own path, what you choose. Take accountability along the way, and you will not falter. And I will also share with you real quick what happens in a session before I do these sessions. And I was noticing it in my writing. Like, sometimes my writing changes. Like, do you notice the difference in, like, they don't all look like it looks like my handwriting, but they all have like kind of different characteristics on it. So it's different energy that comes in, and it's like I write what they're saying, because it was so funny. Because when I said, when I wrote that you must follow yourself, your own path, or you will not falter, I didn't want to write falter, because I'm like, I don't talk like that. I don't say falter, but it was what they wanted, how they wanted it written. So that was there. Anyway, everything that is being dismantled. What is happening outside of our eyes is happening inside our minds. People are using everything they know how to do to make money. Spirituality is not a trend. When the woke trend is over, see who will be standing. And those were my notes for today. We're at 7:54. That's great. 54 past the hour. This has been doing study sessions, doing this that we do every Friday. It's just been an interesting evolution, I will say, and a lot of things are shifting and a lot of things are changing. So I'm grateful to be here with you guys now at this time. And, that's all I could say is what's for now. I can't even say what's for tomorrow, because I really don't know. It's like that's where I am right now in the world, that it's like all of this depending, and this idea of what's going to happen tomorrow has us really jacked up. So it's like we have to focus more on today. And on this day, I can say to you, focus on you and working on your solar plexus and how you feel about yourself and who you are to be, so that you could be strong in this world, because the challenge continues. It is not intended to get easier, because this greatness that we are, we are that because we're able to show and prove. That whole wearing the what is it, the cape and the suit of a hero, that doesn't cut it anymore. Like, if you are a superhero for real, you're going to be tested with that every day in your own life. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, there is no other solution. Everybody in the world is talking about, how can we make things better over here? Let's form a group over here to do this over here. And I mean, all of those things are great and they have their time. But when you're looking from a place of trying to heal, there is no other place to look than yourself. Start with meditation. And I know you guys already know, but I know that some people that have never heard anything before are listening to this right now. And I will say, start with meditation. In that, you're going to find everything else. Solution, do we have any updates on the financial world and what's happening? It's so much happening. This one is not going to be too long, because so much and nothing, right?
It's just, I mean, the same. What should what can I go into? That we haven't spoken on. Things are just pretty much still sliding in the manner that they have been. More and more countries are showing that their allegiance is not with the dollar, as it's just becoming more and more apparent.
More public. That's becoming more public.
Let's see. With the things in Iraq, I would say those things are still holding promise. It's definitely not a matter of if, but when. So that's holding. They're pushing to seat their government, which is supposed to be the final thing, and I assume they're talking to their citizens and saying that May be the month that is totally rectified. I guess we'll see. But I mean, it's just the falling of the dollar is becoming more and more apparent. I guess they're saying that the markets are starting to slow as far as real estate and things of that nature. I did see that the premium for silver is definitely going up. So that means the value and the ability to get silver is definitely heightening and making, the premium be more expensive than it's ever been. I think they was even saying that what they call junk silver, which is the coins that are pre-1965, like that's like, it's not even being priced at, it's junk silver now.
Mm-hmm.
The gentleman was saying. So it's just it's
going down.
It's contracting.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely progressing in a manner that I guess it wouldn't to say be good
mm-hmm.
in those words, but
and
things are.
I do want to say to those of you, some of you came into the Iraqi dinar and foreign currency investment later or maybe this year.
Yeah.
But those of you that have been in it a little bit longer, it's important, and this is why the whole message of now and being in your moments all the time is important, because it's like a little, kind of like a curse that happens with those kind of investments that
right.
are coming, but they take their time. People, you believe in it, you see exactly what it is and what's happening,
Right.
but then you start to want to already be there.
Right.
And you start to think about, especially when what's happening in the world is happening, and you start thinking about all of the things that you could do to help yourself and your family and others, and community. And so you start to get anxious about it, and I know that has definitely happened to me on so many occasions. The one thing that I came up with and realized too is that, it's like we have to get out of that space, because if you get something before you're supposed to get it, then that's not a good thing. And this is preparation. When you're coming into the amount of wealth that we are talking about here in this group, like we're talking about changing communities, cities, worlds, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's something that we really, this is our test in patience, our test in courage, our test in, in knowing, in believing in ourselves and who we are and what we came here to do. And not backing down from that knowing, not allowing anything that's happening with quote unquote time, right, to be to get us, to be like a knockout punch for us. We have to stay grounded in what we know, and we can't, the focus is not the future. If you got that currency, and this is what I tell myself, I'm good. We're vested. We got our skin in the game. Right. There's so many different things, going on. But I will say, by large, that is the one that when that one hits, it's going to be crazy.
Yes. Also, well, just to add to what we were saying, in regards to the Iraqi situation also, well, what changed, or what I would say pushed this fruition of this investment maybe to a little farther down the road, is the fact that the dollar is where it is. Like Iraq is saying now, their leaders, the economic leaders, are saying, we don't want to be pegged with the dollar. No, we better than that. So it's like, dang, you know what I mean?
And I always wondered about that before. Big deal.
What they're saying is sliding now. I mean, the fact that they're really seeing, it's losing its place as far as being the reserve currency, that's definitely in jeopardy, and them just seeing that it's just not, it's losing value extensively. They're now saying that we don't want to be parred or linked to the dollar. So that has caused some change in what was supposed to happen. Yeah. So that is something that's on the table right now.
And I will say that it has also opened the door for other people to come on into the investment, other people that deserve it, that are, so I am grateful for that. I am grateful for the people that are able to get in. Yeah. Because, again, this is something that's for real, for real.
Yes.
So, with that, I think there's a lot of astrological things happening. I don't like to really discuss those things anymore, because like with everybody being so zodiac and the horoscope and the planetary shift and da. What?
E. coli and beef is being, it's been quite, I think, did we talk about that last time? That it was just a numerous amount of meat processors that caught on fire. Did we talk about that last time?
I think that we might have mentioned it.
That's something that's
a little bit. So, well, because they're predicting the food shortage, so they're getting ready for that.
Some extra beans and rice when you go now. That's something to really think about and consider, because it does seem like that's becoming something that is.
And it might be a good time to consider not eating the meat. Like, I'm not going to put anybody into no categories, because we already know there's vegetarian, vegans, everybody with the label that be fighting for their labels. Yes. But just on the strength of what is in the meat or what it's not, and what it does to the body. Yeah. It might be a lot of people are going to be forced to anyway, because
I think at the end of the day, it's a lot of recalls from
Yeah.
E. coli and something else that with beef. I do recall seeing that going across. I didn't note it, but yeah. So that's.
I was saying about the people that are into all the astrology and all of that wonderful sciences and stuff. I do think that those things are important, but I also think that those things are sacred, and you got to learn them from people who know what they're talking about, who know what they're doing. Like everybody, man, it's out there. Y'all already know. So I just kind of try to stay away from that talk and that stuff. People that know about it, they already know what it is. You know the planetary alignment and when the new moons and the full moons and all of these different things happen and how important they are. So, great things happening this weekend.
We gotta always have to consider that in the so-called dismantling, destruction, turmoil, chaos, there is a rebirth and a rising of a new and hopefully evolved, existence. So there's something to be aware. The cleansing period when you're doing, what is it, a detoxing?
A detox, yeah.
Yeah. The world is definitely in need of, and the system is definitely in need of a detoxing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Thank you all so much for joining us live tonight. And we will see you guys or feel you guys.
Yes.
Next Friday. Adios, everyone.
Adios, adios, adios.
When I feel the sound of music vibrating in me, I take hold of the energy and ride the frequency. My soul makes the melody of my life, so I must sing. Every tune that comes through me brings balance to my being. I have the power to change the direction in me through sound. I have the power to change the direction in me through my mind. I am creation, I am animation, I am the brightest vibrant star in all of the constellations. I am zip, pepper, sass, punch, bounce, moxie, mojo, whatever you call it. I am Ajay, 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 Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. Ajay, Ajay, Ajay. 13 Ajay, Ajay, Ajay. 13 Ajay. Ajay, Ajay. Ajay, 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 Ajay. 13 Ajay, Ajay, Ajay. 13 Ajay. Ajay, Ajay. Ajay, Ajay, Ajay.